Leo Tolstoy, one of the greatest literary minds in history, is best known for his monumental novels War and Peace and Anna Karenina. However, beyond his literary genius, Tolstoy was also a profound thinker, a philosopher who wrestled deeply with the question of life's meaning. Unlike many philosophers who explore the subject through abstract theories, Tolstoy's search for meaning was intensely personal. It was not just an intellectual exercise, but a desperate quest for truth, one that nearly consumed him. At the height of his literary success, when he had wealth, fame, and a loving family, Tolstoy fell into a deep existential crisis. He was haunted by a single question: what is the meaning of life? The more he searched for an answer, the more he found himself trapped in despair. But through this darkness, Tolstoy underwent a profound transformation, one that would shape his later works, his philosophy, and even his way of life. His journey toward understanding the purpose of human existence is a powerful testament to the struggle we all face in seeking meaning, and his conclusions continue to inspire and challenge us today. Tolstoy's crisis began in his 50s, at a time when most would consider his life to be at its peak. He had achieved everything that society told him would bring happiness, literary success, financial stability, and a respected reputation. Yet despite having all of this, he was overwhelmed by a growing sense of emptiness. He could not escape the realization that no matter how much he achieved, death would eventually come for him, erasing everything. What is the purpose of all this? He asked himself. Why do I live? Why does anyone live? He realized that no matter how much he wrote, no matter how much he loved his family, no matter how much he experienced, none of it would last. The inevitability of death made everything feel meaningless. If life was only a brief moment of existence followed by nothingness, then what was the point of striving for anything? The more he thought about it, the more unbearable life seemed. At one point, he became so depressed that he feared he might take his own life. He even locked away his guns and ropes to protect himself from his own despair. To escape this overwhelming sense of meaninglessness, Tolstoy turned to philosophy, hoping that the greatest minds in history had already found an answer. He studied the works of thinkers like Socrates, Buddha, Schopenhauer, and Kant, searching for something that would ease his suffering. Yet, to his disappointment, none of their answers satisfied him. Some philosophers argued that life had no meaning at all, that it was simply a product of random chance. Others claimed that meaning could only be found in pleasure or personal achievement, ideas that Tolstoy had already tested in his own life and found unfulfilling. He saw that intellectual reasoning alone could not provide the answer he was looking for. Even the most brilliant minds, when faced with the reality of death, offered no true comfort. He felt lost, as if standing on the edge of an abyss with nothing solid to hold on to. If neither philosophy nor personal success could provide meaning, then where was he supposed to turn? In a search for truth, Tolstoy began to observe the lives of ordinary people, peasants, farmers, and workers who had none of his wealth or education yet seemed far more content than he was. Unlike the intellectual elite, who often lived in doubt and uncertainty, these simple people lived with a quiet sense of purpose. Their lives were filled with hardship, yet they faced each day with a sense of peace. What was their secret? Tolstoy realized that these people found meaning not through intellectual reasoning, but through faith. They did not constantly question the purpose of life. They simply lived it. Their faith in something greater than themselves, whether it was God, tradition, or the bonds of community, gave them a sense of direction. This realization led Tolstoy to an astonishing conclusion. The meaning of life could not be found in logic alone. It was something deeper, something felt rather than analyzed. He saw that meaning was not something to be solved like a puzzle, but something to be lived through faith and purpose. As he embraced this newfound understanding, Tolstoy underwent a radical transformation. He abandoned his aristocratic lifestyle, renouncing his wealth and seeking a simpler existence. He began to live according to his interpretation of Christian teachings, emphasizing love, humility, and service to others. He rejected organized religion, believing that institutions had corrupted true spirituality. Instead, he focused on the core principles of kindness, compassion, and selflessness. He dressed in peasant clothing, worked the land with his own hands, and tried to live in harmony with the natural world. He gave away much of his wealth and renounced material possessions, believing that true happiness could only come from living a life of purpose rather than one of excess. His later works, such as The Kingdom of God is Within You, reflected this philosophy, arguing that the true meaning of life is found in love, service, and spiritual connection. His ideas deeply influenced figures like Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr., inspiring movements for nonviolence and social justice. Tolstoy's journey teaches us a powerful lesson about the nature of meaning. Many people spend their lives chasing success, wealth, and recognition, believing that these things will bring them fulfillment. Yet, as Tolstoy discovered, even the greatest achievements can feel empty if they lack a deeper purpose. Meaning is not something external that we acquire. It is something we create through how we live. It is found not in material success, but in love, kindness, and the way we connect with others. Tolstoy's realization that meaning is deeply tied to faith and purpose offers an alternative to the modern obsession with personal achievement. In a world where many people struggle with anxiety, depression, and existential doubt, his insights remain as relevant as ever. His life reminds us that true fulfillment comes not from what we gain, but from what we give, and that purpose is not something we find, it is something we choose to live by every day. So, did Leo Tolstoy truly solve the meaning of life? In a way, he did, not through abstract philosophy, but through personal transformation. His answer was simple, yet profound. Life's meaning is not in grand achievements or intellectual mastery, but in love, faith, and service to others. By dedicating himself to a life of simplicity and kindness, he found the peace he had once thought impossible. His story is a reminder that meaning is not a distant mystery to be solved, but something we create through the way we live. The true purpose of life, Tolstoy discovered, is not to seek endless success, but to live with kindness, purpose, and an open heart. Thank you for joining us today. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content. See you in the next video.